Good morning. It is Tuesday, May 5th, and the title of this morning's devotional is the Book of the Prophets. We find ourselves in the book of Acts, chapter 7, where Stephen is preaching to those religious leaders, and we see that he quotes Amos, chapter 5. Here we see that he selects out verse 25, but I believe you're going to need to read verses 21 through 27 to really get the understanding. And after you look at this for a while, I think you're going to see that maybe a better title for this is Never Take Him for Granted. Never take Him for granted. There are times in our lives where we learn the lesson of not taking something or someone for granted. Obviously, the most important thing is to never take God for granted. As I was reading this devotional, I was thinking about back when I was in high school. We were out at football practice, and there was a big old boy that came out, and we'd been practicing for quite some time. And he stood right beside me on the line, and he said, "Hello, my name's Roger." And I realized that his uniform didn't quite fit right. Things just seemed a little odd about him. But we hit it off right away. And I guess when you get whatever's left over from the uniforms, that they don't fit right. But I'm telling you what did fit was our friendship. From that day on, he and I became friends. His name was Roger Antone Giovanni. He had the longest name of anyone I ever knew. 13 letters. We hung out all the time. In fact, I would go on his family vacations with him. I would go out to his house. I knew his cousins. We were tight. There was one weekend he invited me to go with him. There were some people that were going to go and hang out in Bakersfield. And it was the kind of people that I wouldn't hang out with. And I chose not to go. Well, that night on the way home, he had fell asleep at the wheel. He drove off the road, woke up, overcorrected, and he flipped his blazer. Him and his best friend from grade school were killed. His cousin survived. I remember the moments after that. I had no idea what to say. I didn't know what to do. You see, Roger was someone that he lived life to the fullest. This was during the years that the Dead Poets Society came out, and Roger Williams encouraged his students to suck the marrow out of life. Roger did that. Everything he did it to the fullest. Whatever he was doing, that was where he was. That's where he wanted to be. Whoever he was with, they knew they were special. After he passed, I said I was numb, and I just did not know what to do. Which is interesting is he showed me what I needed to do right in his life. And later on in life, when I began to really look at the Word of God and look at the life of Jesus, I began to realize that that's how Jesus lived. And that's what he modeled, is he lived everything to the fullest. Go back and read about his life, and you'll see. Whoever he came in contact with, they knew there was nothing more important. If it was a blind person, that's where his attention was. If it was a leper, they were important. They were meaningful. The touch that they desired so much, he gave them that touch. Somebody had a daughter that needed healing. He attended to it. People were important to the Lord. He lived life to the fullest. He was our example. But I'm going to tell you what, so much more than that. So much more than that. These people were going through these vain repetitions. And go back to Amos 5:21 through 27 and take a look at that. We need to, as we have talked, worship Him in spirit and in truth. And we need to get in touch with what that spirit that He gave us is and worship Him that way. And allow that kind of worship to bleed into every aspect of our lives. And we will never take anything for granted. We will live life to the fullest. I'm challenging you today to make every day after today to where you live life to the fullest. I guarantee after this quarantine's lifted, man, you're going to love to worship and to fellowship with God's people. Never take that for granted again. Because you know it could be taken away from you just like that. If you've just lost a loved one, you know that life is precious. If you have health issues, you know that your health is a gift from God. Take everything that God has given you and appreciate it. And utmost, Him. He's given us everything. He's given us as His Son. So thank Him for that. May God bless you. Thank you for listening to these videos. I really appreciate it. Share them with your friends. We've got kingdom business to do. God bless you. Don't take things for granted.